Hello, Michelle. So here I'm gonna give you our talking spatula. You're gonna use that. Okay, so can you maybe introduce yourself? What do you study here and what is your current career path at BUas?
Yeah, so my name is Michelle. I'm a fourth year student now. I am doing my capstone starting in September. Right now, like looking for a project that I can do. Yeah, my career path is production, especially more in organizing parts, so a bit of producing and directing.
Nice. And have you maybe decided already what is your industry that you're gonna choose, like your exact media? Do you have any plans for that after you graduate?
I really want to go to film, so I hope that this will work actually out. So my favorite part would be like England, London, where I can work. But as long as it's anything on set, so music videos is also something I would be interested in, or commercials. Yeah, but like my favorite would be film.
Okay, nice. And maybe do you have any experience? For example, you're a fourth year student, so I'm guessing you had your internship. So maybe did you get some kind of experience in your internship, some kind of guidance?
Yeah, I did my internship at Boomerang Agency in Amsterdam, and
that's
they
nice.
do like social media content for Heineken or Lipton. For Barilla, I did a lot. And it was a lot of social media content, especially. And I did like it. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed looking how they do it, and you are going to be on set a lot as well as a producer. I did assistant producer, by the way, but it would be something that I'd have as, because it's a little bit nine to five job. So I think if you like have settled and you have kids, that would be something I'd be interested in, to have like a more organized working days. But as long as I'm still young and can explore stuff, I'd really want to try and work into film, because I don't really like the budgeting and yeah.
That's nice. So would you say that your internship really helped you to see what you really want to do? Like, for example, for the audience, which you say to have their internships, do you think that you can give them an advice that they're really gonna can take something from in their internships?
Yeah, for sure. Like the internship is really good because you really learn how to do things properly. Because here you have like a guidance, but you're not like under a lot of pressure because it's school and you're doing it for a grade. But if you have like real clients and real people that actually count on you, it's really nice to experience that kind of pressure and like learn how to do it. And yeah. I think internship is really good. Like it's really good.
And for example, would you say that during your years at BUas, it really gave you some skills that you maybe convention that really helped you with your professional setting in your actual internship? Like what maybe you took from your education here that helped you there?
For sure. Like I did creative producing, and that really helped me develop my skills as a producer. Because you really are like, you have to organize everything by yourself, and you get like a lot of extra contact hours with your teacher and supervisors who really help you through it. I've also done like TV, so it's really nice to have like different kinds of industries that you can look into. Yeah, but mostly it depends really on yourself, because if you are determined to work and get the skills that you need, then you really can make it far and learn a lot.
Okay, nice. So do you expect now to easily find a job after BUas, or maybe it's going to be a little harder?
I don't think easily. I think it's still harder. It's really nice to have a good, because there's so many international students and everyone wants to work somewhere else. It's really nice to have like a good network for different countries or anything and different industries. But I don't think it's gonna be easy. I think you still have to like work hard and try the best.
Okay, but I'm guessing it's going to be a bit easier because now you have already have some type of experience with your internship.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be a bit easier because I know people in the industry now that I've worked with, like different cinematographers, photographers, or producers, directors. Like you were really in your internship, you can really expand your network. So for that, it would be easier because I can just look around if people need, like for example, a director who's doing music videos. He told me I can like text him on Instagram if I need anything. So that way, I could at least have like a foot in the industry through my internship already.
Okay, that's really nice. Have you thought about maybe dipping your toes, as you just mentioned, in other industries in the media, or you for now just for TV? or have you thought about it? Maybe some ideas from your internship.
I think production. As long as I'm on a set and involved in video making, I think it's gonna be fun for me.
Okay. Okay.
But like radios or anything like that, I don't think would be. No, I think social media. I could think about it, like doing content for social media. But other than that, mostly video production.
Great, great. Well, thank you. Now it's time that we introduce our second guest, which is going to be Mark McKins, teacher here at BUas. So, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mark.
Hello.
You can get the talking spot
Oh,
here
thank
now.
you.
Yeah.
Very
so maybe
good.
you can introduce yourself. What do you teach here at BUas?
Yes, I teach in the creative business department.
Yeah.
I teach film, television, and everything in between.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Well, so actually we're gonna first now play a game. So our industry professional here, Mark, is going to tell us 2 truths and 1 lie. And me and Michelle are going to try guess which is the lie. And this is going to really help me and Michelle actually see some real insights and what our expectations in reality is going to be in the industry.
Okay, well, let's see if
Yeah.
it works. Okay. I have never applied for a job in television.
Okay.
I've never been fired from a TV job. And the first show I created is still on the air
Oh,
25 years ago.
okay.
Like what are the truth and what's the lie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 truths, 1 lie.
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
you've never applied, and I think your first show is still on air. And the second one was a lie.
Well, I'm actually not sure because considering you work in the TV industry, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you should have applied at some point.
Right?
But maybe that's an obvious one, so that's why it's not the.
So you think I have been fired? Okay,
Honestly,
fair
I'm
enough.
gonna
That's
go-
good. You thought that right away. That did not take long for you to, and then you eliminated the rest
I
because
eliminated, yeah, I
because you
think.
knew I'd been fired.
But I think you might. Oh wait, not applied for a job in TV industry.
Right,
But you
right.
have applied for here. But
Right.
I don't think you have applied in the TV industry.
You're right. You're right on all. She's right. Am I allowed to say?
Okay, so that's the lie.
Yes. Yeah, I got fired from my first real job actually. In the business, it was I was an executive assistant to a vice president of a big company, and he got fired or he quit, I guess, or one or the other. It's hard to tell. And the incoming vice president fired me on day one. It's like, nice to meet you. You're fired. Get out. So that was a good lesson. It was as good a lesson as the jobs I have gotten.
Okay.
But no, I've never applied for a job in television. I got recruited for my first one, and every single one since then I got recruited for. And so that's kind of what I like to share with my students in classes. Is it's the most important thing is your reputation, because if you have a good reputation, the jobs come to you and the opportunities come to you. You don't have to go hustling for them as much.
But for example, for our students who are watching us right now and they want a job in the TV industry, and for example, they don't have experience yet, but how do they get the same good reputation that you just mentioned without actually applying for jobs? Like, how do they get that reputation without actual experience?
It's a great question, but that's what this school is all about, and that's what the study is about. And I hope you can attest to this, Michelle, that we give you the opportunities to practice developing your reputation. Even right now in this course you're doing right now, you're each developing your reputations with each other. You cross paths again in the future, and it really simulates what it's like in your entry-level jobs. You'll meet each other, you'll figure out who's trustworthy, who you can count on, and ultimately that's who the jobs go to. It wasn't because I had the best ideas necessarily, or the most ambition necessarily, or the most education. It was that I really was determined to do a good job on every opportunity I got and to be trusted. And so that's how you kind of scale up the ranks of any production environment, is get that reputation and guard it with your life.
And since you just mentioned education and that
Yeah.
it might not always be enough, what did
Yeah.
you actually study prior to being in the industry?
Yeah, many years ago, over 25 years ago, I was in University of Guelph in Canada, and I studied a double major, English and theater or drama. We called it drama,
Okay.
but it's theater studies, because there was no film or television department at that university. If there was something like this, I surely would have taken that course. I would have loved it. But instead, I took the 2 courses that were sort of closest to film and television, theater
Okay.
and English. So I got both of those degrees, but before I graduated, I got my first job in television as a PA on a variety show, a TV variety show. And, then I knew I didn't really need all that, English or theater credits. I was moved right into television with my degree.
So you kind of answered that, but how exactly did your education with BUas differ, and why
Yeah.
it attracted you more than actual theater?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is such a practical environment with the ability to apply what you're learning immediately with gear and equipment and opportunities like this type of production. That would have been a dream to me back in those days. It was very theoretical what we could learn about television, not practical at all, and the technology was different too. It was linear. It was all on magnetic tapes and with big wires. None of this digital stuff and none of these lightweight cameras. We could never have conceived of an air pack like this to make a live TV show go. So instead, I studied the closest things possible, theory around film and theory around theater. But here, I'm able to marry all of that theory that I learned and the ability to learn and study to the practicality of the media business, which I see requires and can take so much study and so much training before students get into the actual industry.
Yeah. Okay. So you really like that here. It's very practice based
Oh,
and
yeah.
not just studying.
Well, not only that, it reminds me, one of my favorite jobs that I ever had was running MTV Canada. I got to run that for 5 or 6 years, and I got to start it from scratch, and I was able to hire who I wanted. And so I hired all young people to run that run that channel. And it reminds me very much of studying here at BUas, the young groups of people with ideas and energy and a lack of fear about breaking rules. That's really engendered my favorite.
Speaking of lack of fear, breaking rules.
Come flying in, Mike Flash flying in.
I love it.
Now we're on the hub.
Not so discreet hub commercial.
Now we're officially on the hub.
Yeah. We love the hub. Join.
Anyway.
Okay, and during your studies, for example, what did you exactly expect to happen after your graduation, and is it exactly what you expected, or there are like a lot of different things that you didn't expect?
I was, I guess, aiming for a job in theater at that point. So I was doing community projects and side projects in the summer in between my study, and going to end up moving to the big city and doing a job as a production manager or something in theater, something behind the scenes. But during my last year of study, a large production of a variety show, a TV variety show, came to my campus, and they wanted to shoot on the campus because it was beautiful, like this campus is. It was very beautiful. So they wanted to be the backdrop of a variety show. And they needed drivers, local people, because they were all from the big city. They needed locals who could drive the talent and the execs around. And so I got picked to be a driver, and they handed me a big cell phone and a wad of cash and the keys to a Lincoln Town car, and I became a production driver, and I loved it. So I was still in school at the time, but when the next opportunity to be a driver came up, it was back in the big city in Toronto. So I quit my job and moved out of town and started my life in television, just like that.
Well, you just mentioned some of your jobs that you had, but what was your actual first job right after graduating? And how did you get it?
Yeah, I guess while I was still in school, I was being a production driver, but my first job was as executive assistant to the vice president of English television at what was called the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, like NPO here, I guess. And the reason I got that job is because when I was a driver on that variety show, the woman who was the exec producer saw me and running around and knocking myself out to be the best, and she recommended me to her husband, who was the VP of the company. So he visited the set, he met me, and a few weeks later I had a job offer. And he said, you can come and be my assistant, your life will end, you will have no friends, and I'm going to fire you in 2 years. Oh. That was my first job.
So from what we can gather from your answers is just like, for example, for some advices for media students and TV students, is just to, I guess, put yourself out there, because from what I can hear, you really went out there, joined a lot of different things for production-wise, and you never really had to apply, from what I heard.
After
you always
that,
just have been seen by people who were in charge.
Take your very first job and every job after as an audition for your next job. You're always auditioning, you're always on display, and from your very first internships as you go on work placements or doing a capstone, you're always auditioning.
Okay, and what is maybe one, like, because I've heard a lot of good advice and values, but what for you is maybe the one thing that is the most important? Like, is it maybe charisma? Is it work ethic? Just if you can say only one thing to work in the industry.
Well, because this is a team-based industry, it's a group-based work, my advice, my secret relates to that. It relates to how to work in a team. And it's one rule, it's the most important rule in all of television. It's called make others better. So if you're in a team and you're obsessed with making the other people in your group succeed and be as good as they can be, then your show succeeds or your project succeeds. So it means putting yourself away, your ego away a little bit and balancing your ambition with your team aspirations. But if you can focus on making each other better and build teams and environments where that is what they're doing with each other, making each other better, then everything else takes care of itself. But it's an elite concept and it's difficult to do.
That's actually a great advice.
Yeah.
Really, thank you.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you.
next, we are going to introduce our third guest, who is Siska Heitenbeek. She's a capstone community manager here and alumni at BUas.
Yay!
Hello, Siska.
Woo!
Hi.
You have to sort of prop that up
Yeah.
with your hand.
Okay, yeah.
There
Yeah,
go.
you can maybe introduce yourself and just say a few things. What do you do here at BUas and how we can be helpful to our audience?
Yeah. Well, I'm Siska Geitenbeek. I'm a community manager for Capstone, as well as the alumni contact person for media and games, and also a coach for delayed students. So, and I'm an alumni from NHCV/BUas ages ago within tourism.
Oh, okay. So you studied tourism, right? That's
Yes.
what you studied here
Yes.
in BUas. Okay. And how did you decide to shape your career path after you graduated here at BUas? How did you decide to become?
After I graduated, I first became a travel agent for what I studied for. I did that for 8 years, and I traveled the world and sold holidays, etc. As well. And then the internet hit in, and so I thought, well, let's do something else because people book their own trips through the internet, and I'm not useful for that anymore.
Yeah.
So,
So you decided to change
then,
careers.
yeah, and then I came, within NHCV, within media even, secretary, and from that on I grew up what I'm now. So.
Okay, nice. Maybe we're taking you a little bit back, but do you maybe remember some of your favorite professors here at BUas or subjects maybe that really helped you to develop the skills that you have now? As
Oh,
an
the
alumni
professors,
here?
I can't remember the names, but I know that I liked the aviation classes as well as the travel agency, the practical classes. Yeah, I like them.
And what was once again like the same question, your first job, and did BUas help you in a way, like not only like with connections, but in a way with guidance? How did you decide to get it?
No, back then, no, I did it on my own, but there were a lot of jobs on the market, so I applied and I got a job. Yeah.
Okay, and would you say that BUas gave you some skills for that? For example, were before you, because you're now the part of the alumni, but alumni before, did they maybe help you? Did they give you some guidelines?
No,
not
back then
necessarily?
it didn't work like that. No,
Okay.
now I think there's much more a thing like a network, but then it wasn't that. No.
Okay, and since you're the capstone community manager, maybe we can share with our audience, in your opinion, how does maybe the transition from the fourth-year students, because our guest here, Michelle,
Yeah.
she's going to write her capstone as well soon. Maybe you can tell us the transition from capstone to like actual career and finding a job and.
Yeah, of course, your capstone phase is really important for the future after you graduate. I mean, that's your network, and that's what you do. Also, like you mentioned, the internships, maybe when you have an exchange, then you build your network, and that's really important for either capstone and afterwards. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
nice. And about the part where you're an alumni, do you maybe have some story that you can share? Well, an impressive story about the BUas alumni?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of impressive alumni. For example, we've got 2 students who are a couple, and they both studied media, and they now have a really successful company called Room Raccoon. They're in Breda, they have a hotel, they run that business, they run it together. And it's really a good example of combining your skills, because she's more in the hotel. Well, they've both got a passion for the hotel, but they studied media. He is more a tech guy, so they combine it all. And she is from origin a German student, and she speaks very good the Dutch language because, well, they live here. Well, that's an example, but we've got radio DJs, we've got people working at Endemol, but also at smaller companies. Yeah, we're actually proud of everyone. Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing a great work here then from what I can hear at BUas, and maybe what is your day look like on a daily basis? What do you exactly do at the
As a capstone community manager, I try to connect the students with the supervisors as well as the experts. I try to organize sessions so they can ask their questions, etc. To keep the community, sort of alive. I do that together, of course, with all the lecturers and the students. And next to that, as alumni contact person, I have the contacts within mostly LinkedIn with all alumni for media and games. And then I'm also the study coach for the delayed students. First of the IMEM delayed students that stops after this year. And then, of course, we have CB students who are also delayed due to whatever reason. And together with my colleague Yanni, we help them to get things going and to go through the program.
So our audience can very freely contact you. They have some struggles or questions about their fourth year on capstone.
Yeah, of course.
Great,
Yeah,
great.
yeah. That's what I
Thank
do.
you. And now, can you maybe, since very conveniently Michelle here is a TV student actually, and you're a TV professor, and you're a capstone, and she's fourth year, so maybe you can give some advices to her about her capstone, or
Me or he?
both. You can take turns.
My advice is to prepare. To prepare, start early, start on time, write your proposal on time, hand it in on time so you can start your phase on time. Yeah, I think that's for now my advice.
I would say I have two pieces of advice for you, Michelle. One is to start your research early, if you can. And the second piece is, having taught you in 2 previous courses, I would say keep being yourself.
Okay.
Because you're amazing.
You all are.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. And now, actually, to wrap up, you're gonna play a game now to help really Michelle think about her future.
Okay.
So,
I think
Here
we
we
probably
have
stand up for
our
this.
big heavy board.
And I think
Okay.
we... All right, I think we go
Come on,
around
guys,
here.
don't be shy. You can come in front of the board.
And we'll pull it back a little.
So
go.
our game is called Build Your Dream Career.
You're standing
So
right in
what
front
we
of the
have
camera
here
there.
are
There you go.
some guidelines of what a career is structured and based on. And Michelle here is going to really think about all of these things that she wants in her job. So she's going to think about salary, location, work-life balance, type of work, level of responsibility, company culture, and opportunities for growth. And she's gonna write down exactly a job that she picks, and then she's actually gonna give us some clues. She's gonna tell us this information, and then me and our guest here, we will try to really guess the profession that she picked. This we hope really is gonna help. Thank you to the producer. We're gonna hope Michelle is gonna really think about her career and our audience as well, and see what they want in life as well. So
And should I write down everything or just like one at a time?
you can tell us at one time, and then we're gonna brainstorm and think.
So for the salary, do you hear me now? For the salary, I thought about, I looked it up online and it said that it was about 62K per year, like average, so not
Okay.
in the Netherlands. For the location, it can be in the studio, it can be on a location, it can be on the set,
Okay.
so it can be anywhere. For the work-life balance, I think that work would outweigh life at some point, but I think if you manage it well, you can also have a good work-life balance with this job. The type of work is mostly organizational and planning and being like a communicator and someone who like makes the team work together.
Okay.
What's the next one? Oh, the company culture. I think the company culture was especially familiar and like a level of trust and like teamwork especially, so things like that. and opportunities for growth in if you see it as like a very broad type of category in the production process, then can grow a lot. But the one I want in the end is already, I think, the best and the highest. So opportunity for growth is there, but I don't think you would need it if you reach it.
Okay.
Very cool. Do you have a guess?
No.
No? Do you, Mark, have a guess so far?
Yes,
Yes.
I do have a pretty good idea what it
Yeah.
is. Is it a hands-on production job?
Yes.
Is it mainly in the film industry?
Yes.
Is it first assistant director?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That was a fast guess.
I'm sorry. I could have stretched.
Yeah, no. So you want to be an assistant director?
Yeah, I do.
So why not a director, for example? Is it like more?
Yeah, I've done directing when I did my exchange in England for a film, for a short film.
Yeah.
But I didn't enjoy being like on set. You're only working with like the actors to have like a good performance of them. But I like to be more involved in behind the like more the organizational than actually the performance or the set especially. And you have to do so many, like you have to think about so much if you're a director. And
Okay.
if you enjoy thinking about it all day, it's something for you, but it wasn't something for me.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you say that when we made you do this exercise, this game, this really helped you with realistically thinking about what is going to be actually in the job? And
Yeah.
did you like the aspects?
It did, yeah, because I like that I thought about company culture, so I thought maybe it would be competitive, but actually it's more of a like family that you actually build and trust and connections. And the work-life balance, yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot of work, but I think if you manage it well, you can actually have a good life balance.
Okay. And do you think that right now, after you graduate, you're gonna apply for such job, or do you think first maybe you have some other jobs which are like baby steps towards this big goal?
Yeah, I do think
Yeah.
there's like different ranks. So you have like first AD, second, third, fourth. So I'd start like at the very down, maybe as a production assistant in a big film company, just to get like a little bit of connections, trust from other directors, and that they see I can work well, and then start as fourth, and then go up the ladder.
Okay, great.
Very
And
smart.
do you guys as professionals think this is realistic aspects? Do you think that maybe there are some aspects to a job which we missed, which are maybe just as important as just what we listed?
Well, from my experience, this is exactly the description of a first AD, and Michelle's right. It is a very good job if you can get it. They're not easy to get. You have to earn your reputation, like I talked about. But once you get to that spot, you do have a very good environment to work within, and you have really reliable work in the future. That's one of the things that's most relaxing about it. That everyone in that family knows that they're going to be working in the future together. So it creates a kind of rhythm and a kind of respect with each other that is really nice to work in.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Well, thank you guys all for starring in our show and really helping our audience think about what they have to do. And thank you guys for being with us, and see you next time.